The children's footsteps rang through the trees as they raced on, and Floyd called out, "Look!" Ahead, they could see the tree with the tyre. "That's the way home," nodded Ruby, and they ran faster, but not for long, because the path came to a cave, and there was the Bugaboo. There has never been a worse monster in any book. The children stopped as still as birds. And you can choose. If you really can't face what's going to happen next, then you'll have to ask your grown-up to turn the assembly off. But if you're feeling brave enough to carry on, let's turn the page. Ruby and Floyd tried to hide behind the bushes, but the Bugaboo let out a roar so loud it blew the bushes clean out of the ground. Can you roar with it? Go. Brilliant. Then he pulled a face so scary that Floyd and Ruby fell flat on their backs. Can you pull a face so scary that you fall flat on your backs? Brilliant. I hope you're sitting up again now. Then he stamped his foot so hard they bounced back up again. "I'm thinking of an idea," whispered Floyd. "Maybe we should get the Bugaboo's mum." But Ruby had other ideas. "Don't eat us," she called out. "We're absolutely deadly poisonous." The Bugaboo snatched her into the air and snarled, "I'd be more scared of two close pace." Ruby tried again. There are some other children coming, and they'll be much bigger and tastier than us." She hung there, like a coat on a hanger. "You won't get me with that old trick," said the Bugaboo, and he reached down to grab Floyd too. But Floyd wasn't there. The Bugaboo poked and peered and sniffed, but he couldn't find Floyd. And Ruby didn't know what had happened. "Please," she said, "it's our dinner time and I want to go home." "I know," said the Bugaboo, "but it's my dinner time, and the more you talk, the hungrier I get." But at that very, very moment, Floyd came out of the cave, and with him was the Bugaboo's mum. She said, "Oh, stop being such a silly Bugaboo. If you eat that girl, you won't have any room for your dinner." The Bugaboo put Ruby down and looked at the ground. "Oh, don't start getting all upset," said his mum. "Come here and I'll give you a lovely kiss." She walked towards the Bugaboo. It was Floyd and Ruby's chance. And you can choose. If you'd like to see the Bugaboo get a lovely kiss, then keep your eyes open. If you'd rather skip the kiss, close your eyes now. There we go. Poor Bugaboo. Oh. Floyd and Ruby ran, gasping, stumbling and grinning, out of the valley all the way to the tree with the tyre. When they arrived back home, their mum said, "You two look as though you've had some fun. What have you been playing?" "Mainly chasing and running, racing and chasing games," nodded Floyd, "and sometimes we didn't know if we were ever going to get back home." His mum looked at him for a moment. Then she said, "Well, at least you had Ruby to look after you." "And she had me to look after her," said Floyd. Then he threw his ball up in the air and caught it. And that night, Floyd dreamt about everything in the world except for the Bugaboo. And that is the end. Unless, of course, you want to go back to the beginning. There you go. Well done for finding your way together through that story. I hope you enjoyed it. You can, at some point, perhaps at school, perhaps at home, go back and try another route. I'd love to hear how you get on. thank you very, very much for joining me. I hope you have a brilliant weekend this weekend, and we will see you all on Monday. All right, bye-bye for now.